Okay, so you've identified there's been a change in performance. An investigation has been conducted, hopefully leveraging the root cause investigation for CAPA methodology. And a technical root cause has been identified. Cool. Now the team goes in the corrective action mode, selects the first action that comes to mind, and starts charging forth. Not so cool. Why? Well, let's dig into it. Hi, I'm Rob Weaver, president of Weaver Consulting, where we've been providing root cause analysis training since 2003. The scenario I just described is quite common. Here's why I think it's not so cool. I believe there are some important questions we should be asking to best inform what direction is taken in our corrective actions. And I suspect you're going to agree with this logic. First, we should determine where this technical root cause is stemming from, which ultimately will be from one of two places. Either the root cause is stemming from human error, such as our processes allowed something to be done that shouldn't have been done, or it's stemming from excessive variation in whatever was being investigated. Excessive variation issues is not a topic I want to dig into deeply in this video, but suffice to say, you'll probably need to pull in experts like your Six Sigma black belts, who will be well versed in techniques to first reduce variation as much as possible, while simultaneously optimizing that variation against our performance requirements. Now, if the technical root cause is stemming from human error, we'll leverage what many people refer to as mistake proofing techniques, or if you prefer the original Japanese term, poka-yoke. In this scenario, the first question I believe we should be asking is, can we eliminate this issue from ever occurring again? Wouldn't you agree that would be the best case scenario? I think it's at least worth asking the question, and if there is opportunity, to proceed accordingly. Here's my favorite example that's simple but gets the point across. Imagine we're having issues with some components being assembled incorrectly. So here we see this very rudimentary looking housing that has a blue input on the left side and a red output on the right side. This tubing we see needs to connect to the blue input, but it just so happens that it also connects to the red output where it does not belong. Okay, even if we color code these things, someone, somehow, somewhere, some way is going to attach the tubing to the red output instead of the blue input where it belongs. There's our defect. Sometimes, I certainly won't claim always, but sometimes we have the ability to redesign a product or process. In this example, we've redesigned the red output by enlarging it while still meeting the exact same performance requirements because those haven't changed, but the tubing will no longer incorrectly connect there. Okay, we've eliminated this particular issue from recurring. Great. Now, sometimes for a variety of reasons, it may be impossible to eliminate recurrence of the defect. Perhaps it's physically impossible or extraordinarily cost prohibitive compared to the risk involved, among a variety of legitimate other factors. Now, our question becomes, can we at least facilitate or reduce the probability of the issue recurring? In other words, we know that it can still happen, but can we make it less likely to occur and hopefully very obvious when it does occur so it's easy to catch? Here's my favorite example. I'm going to guess that either at your current employer or most recent employer, every 30, 60, or 90 days, you're being prompted to create a brand new login password for security reasons. When you enter that brand new password the first time, I suspect you're required to enter it at least twice. Why? Well, one of several reasons would be perhaps you made a typo when entering it in the first time, which may not be such a big deal in the short term, but at some point, you're going to have to log out. And when you do attempt to log in again, you won't be able to do so. So, by being required to enter your password in a second time, you'll hopefully spell it correctly. And then the software catches the discrepancy and you'll be forced to try again. Cool. Except, isn't it possible to make the same typo two times in a row? Well, sure it is, but hopefully it's a lot less likely. So here we haven't eliminated recurrence of the issue, but we have facilitated recurrence with an action that makes it immediately obvious if the defect has occurred. There are other concepts related to mistake proofing, but let's keep it here for this video. Again, understanding where the technical root cause is stemming from will better equip the investigation team to take the most appropriate corrective actions to stop or minimize recurrence. Now you might be wondering, okay, how does all of this fit into a broader corrective action plan? Well, it just so happens that the corrective action plan built into our methodology at Weaver Consulting takes into account several other factors, such as risk associated with our corrective actions, control plans for monitoring performance, acceptance criteria for determining outcome, and a whole lot more. If you'd like to learn more, check out our executive overview video linked in the description box below. I've been Rob Weaver. Thanks for watching, and until next time, keep digging.